Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be finally showing you my backyard tour. Remember, we only moved in 5 or 6 months ago, so this is kind of all new growth, you know, new plants and stuff like that, and I'm not completely finished with how I want my backyard to look. So this is my patio, and over on this side, this is where we come out. Why don't you pause? Okay, so my dog and the back door neighbor dog love to bark at each other and run back and forth. So that's what just happened, and I needed to pause the video for a minute. So let's continue with the tour, or get it started. Okay, so on this side of my patio, I have two sides, and this side is the dining room side. So I put the table here, and this is actually inside is my living room side. So I did want to flip it and have living room on the same side as living room and dining room on the same side as dining room, but I'll show you why later, why I chose to put them on this side. So this is my dining room side. I bought these tables and chairs at Home Depot, great price. I had been looking all over for something that I liked, that was my style, and couldn't find anything in a good price range, and these were great price. I don't remember what, but they were a good price. This is a cute little birdhouse that I bought at Home Goods, and I'll be putting it on a post later on out in the yard. I just haven't decided where I'm gonna put it. Okay, and then over here I have lots of potted plants. I have this snake plant, which I've had forever, and so it just kind of lives out here. I can't do anything to mess with it. It's always healthy. This is a hibiscus, a red hibiscus that a friend gave me. The wind has been blowing it to pieces, and so it needs some help, but I need to probably pull it away from the wind, but it's windy everywhere in Corpus. And then I have two little house plants that were like at their demise inside. They were in a place I thought they could do low light, and they did not like it there. They were almost dead, and I just pulled them out here and kind of put them on the patio. That's why they're tucked away here, but they're actually doing really good. Okay, so, oh, and then over on this side, I have my little hose reel is over here, and I asked the builder to kind of tuck it away so that you wouldn't see it. Okay, so let's walk on over to this side of the porch. Right in the middle right here, I have some Plumeria cuttings from my Plumeria tree that I'll show you in a little bit. And those are doing great. This peace lily gets a little wind blown too. Everything does in Corpus, but it's doing good. And I just planted this kind of recently. Did we do a video on this? Okay, so I thought I had done a video on this, but this is a knockout rose tree, right? That's how it was sold. And then I put some blue daze down in here. And when it's blooming, it's really pretty because it's the same color as the pot. And my mommy gave me that pot. I loved it in her yard. She didn't have anything in it. And I said, how much can I pay you for that pot? And she said, you can have it. So thank you, Mom. Okay, then coming over here, this is my Ficus ollie, I think is how you pronounce it. I love it. I used to have ficus trees when I was newly married, and they grew like super tall. I had them for a long time. But real plain, and I like that this one's different. It has like, they call them banana leaves. And then I have my Fiddle Leaf Fig right here, one of them. This was also inside, not doing well, and I brought it outside, and it just loves it outside. So if you have houseplants that aren't doing well, either push them closer to a window with more light, or bring them outside for a while. Just make sure that you keep them watered more often when they're outside. Okay, so this is the living room side of my patio. I have two chairs. These are from Kirkland's, and these cushions on the bottom are from Kirkland's also, but the little ones are from At Home. I have bigger ones up there. I'll show you in a minute. I moved them to the couch. This little table right here is from At Home. I had this pot for a long time, and this plant was given to me, so I put it inside of that pot. Okay, and then over on this side, I have this sofa that I bought. It's kind of farmhouse style. I bought it online. I think it's from the House website, or Houzz. And I like that a lot. So these are from Kirkland's, and this long sweet porch pillow is from Kirkland's. So I love all the furniture on my patio, but I really like this one a lot. And then over here, a friend of mine gave me this for Mother's Day, begonia. And then I have this cute little lantern that should have a candle in it, right? But no, there's not a candle in it. Look what I keep in it. My fish food. So great thing that I use this all the time, so I just have a little hiding place for it where nobody can see it, but it's easy for me to get to. And I also have a mosquito candle, and this table that matches the chairs from Kirkland's. So instead of putting the matching table with the matching chairs, I kind of separate them a little bit to bring that wicker rattan type look over to the side where the sofa is. And then I put a metal piece over by these chairs to help with that. I thought about putting a coffee table in here, but thought it would disrupt the flow, maybe not enough room. And when you came out, I wanted you to be able to see my pond. So this is my pond. I have a few more potted plants right here. We have, I think, 3 koi and quite a few goldfish, 4 or 5 goldfish. And then there's even a minnow or 2 in there. We have a rush plant out there, the tall, grassy looking one. It's horse rush, and a lily pad. This lily right here was doing well during the summer. It's kind of cooled off a little bit, so I think that's why it's not doing well. I've never had a lily, so this is the first time I've had one, but it did bloom. It's even had new growth during the summer, so hopefully that's great. So my son Cade, not my cameraman Gunner son, but my son Cade did this whole pond mostly on his own, with a lot of feedback and talking to from Mimi and Pops. Oh, I forgot, Gunner did help dig it. Sorry, he's making faces behind the camera because he helped dig it. So lots of, I love my pond. I love how big it is. We had a small pond in the past, but not for a long time, probably not for at least 8 or 10 years. So I'm really happy to have a pond again, and just getting used to having it and making sure that the fish are fed and all that stuff. So I didn't talk about this plant. I have another Fiddle Leaf Fig right here, and I really love its plant holder, but this used to be a lot more white. It has fallen into the pond so many times. When it gets really windy, which it does all the time in Corpus, is the wind just knocks it over into the pond. So I need to pay attention to the weather a little bit, and when it gets windy, I need to move it. I always have to come and fish it out of the pond and move it over just on the really first big gust of a windstorm, or front coming through or something like that. But I love the spot for it, so I'm gonna keep it here. Maybe I need to work on getting something that's really heavy to weigh it down. And I'll probably in the future, maybe in the spring or summer, spray paint it white again or wash it off better to get it better. Okay, so let's go look at all the landscaping. Okay, so this is one side of my yard, and over here I have a little section. This is a Siamese Tulip, and it is not blooming right now, but I think I have some pictures of it on my Facebook and Instagram page. Beautiful flowers. I love the colors on it. It's kind of a violet purple, really pretty. Over here I have some metal art. They're bluebonnets, the Texas flower, state flower. I got those in Marble Falls, Texas, when we were on our annual Inks Lake camping trip. And so I really like those. I just have been moving them around because I'm not really sure where I like them so far. Okay, and then coming over here, we have over here just this little grass clump. That is a Agapanthus, sorry, I almost forgot, which is also called a lily of the Nile. It doesn't bloom right now, so you can see one of the bloom stalks. It's not quite ready to pull out. And this stepping stone was made for us by a friend of my father-in-law's long time ago. I mean, probably 20 years ago, and it's still held up. Those are our first 2 chocolate labs. This is Godiva and Chewbacca, and they were our babies when we were first married. So I love that stepping stone. We've just kept it forever. And then we have some stepping stones out to the pond. I haven't set this one yet. That's why it's up above everything. And then as you come over here, we have some Angelonia. And this was given to me in a pot, and see it has 3 different colors because there's 3 different plants there, but it was all in one pot. So I just planted it as is. It's been doing pretty good. We have a blue mist flower. It doesn't have any flowers on it right now. And I've never had one of these, so I'm not really sure how it's gonna grow or anything, but it had a few flowers on it when I first got it, but they've already gone. So this is a vinca. Usually people call them periwinkles around here. It's a vinca. And then right here I have, if you'll focus in on the flowers, these beautiful yellow canna lilies, which love having wet soil. I water them a lot, and they just bloom all over the place. I need to deadhead a few, but they are really pretty. I love them. And you'll see some animals like them too, some insects like them too, but for the most part, they are most of their leaves are really nice and full. There's just a few that have been eaten up. They don't eat them too much. And then you hear me say a lot, one of my favorites, because most of these are my favorite. This is really one of my favorite one of my favorite bushes. This is the blue butterfly bush, and the little flowers look like butterflies landing on them. And hummingbirds come to this, butterflies come to this. It's just so pretty, but it does freeze easily. So I have had a couple in my past yards, and they have frozen back in winter. Sometimes they survive though. So I'm gonna hope that I got this in a close enough to the house, kind of in an area where it will survive through this winter. So I planted a couple of these. They're a type of, oh, now I forgot. I want to say sage, but I think that's wrong. But anyway, they haven't been doing very well. I'll probably pull them up pretty soon. And then over here, I just moved this. Here, it was almost gonna die. It is a peach drift rose. And so I'm hoping that it comes back, because it has come back quite a bit. And then next to that is a knockout rose, just like the one that's in the pot on the patio. It's not blooming right now, or maybe it has a couple of blooms, but it is doing better than this one is like one of the last things I planted, so like just in the last couple of weeks. And then I have this little metal art. I had this next to the pond because I thought it would be cute with a bird next to the pond, but it kept falling, so I moved it out over here. It didn't really have a place to stake it in the rocks. And then this is a Luna hibiscus. I know I just posted this pictures of a couple of these opened up on my Facebook and Instagram if you want to look at those. And then next to that, we're losing sunlight, so I'm hoping that I can get through all these. Next to this is a, I think it's, oh, I should have looked up all these before. I think my brain just stops working when I get the camera on me, but I'll try to remember and put it in the description. It's a mystic something. I'll remember it in a little bit. Okay, and then here's another prize plant of mine, and that is a Plumeria, and you see all the pretty blooms right there. These were done from cuttings from my Plumeria in my last yard. So when we were moving here, I took a lot of cuttings from it. So this is 3 of them. I put 3 of them all together. That might not be a good idea. It might be too compact, but I really wanted it to look like it had multi-trunks. So that's the way I decided to do it. And then over here, this one was also just planted. It's a butterfly bush. You can see the little blooms on there that butterflies love. The wind has kind of gotten to it and kind of blown it over and stuff. Really, your plants need to be a lot stronger and larger than Corpus before they can withstand the wind. Okay, and then Gunner, I'm gonna let you show everybody our messed up garden for now. So the garden is, we weeded it, but we didn't get to finish weeding it. Now weeds have come back, but we're not ready for it yet for our vegetable garden. So we'll get there someday, not gonna be this fall. And if you see over here where we've put the wood around it, that's what we're gonna do all the way around it, but I'm gonna make it 2 logs high, and it's gonna look great. So we'll do another video on the garden. We actually took a lot of video of us getting it ready, and when it's completely ready, then we'll put out a video of all of it put together. So, but I'm excited to do that also. Okay, so then we have our back little bed, or our back landscaping. And so Gunnar, if you'll walk back and kind of show the whole thing. We have lots of weeds in this one, and a lot of it's that nut grass. They call it nut grass, but it's also called nut sedge. And right here, I have this little stake here because I've had it in here, sticking in here, to say this is where I'm going to be putting a peach tree. So every single house I've lived in has had a peach tree. I love peaches, but it just wasn't the time. When we moved in, we had just missed the peach thing, and because we had the big freeze, nobody had any peach trees, because when they had them before, everybody bought them because theirs had died. Okay, so if you walk over here, I have ixoras. There's some good blooms over there, Gunnar, if you want to get video of that. And these are a tropical one. They they do really well in Corpus. I've had some get, up to almost 4 feet tall in one of my, not my last house, but the house before that. Okay, and then over here, I have actually 2 things. So if you see that we have this big electrical box and cable box, and so I bought this in San Antonio, and it really didn't like Corpus. It's a St. John's wort, and it's actually started putting on a whole lot new growth after it's gotten cooled off. So when it was almost dead, I planted a white Plumeria right next to it, because I know white Plumeria, any Plumeria loves, I'm sorry, I'm saying Plumeria, it's not Plumeria, Plumbago. The Plumbago love Corpus. So it will grow big and cover up all this electrical stuff. But I was hoping this would do that. But I think I'm either gonna have to pull it up or just throw it away. What do y'all do with your plants? When they're looking bad, do you throw them away or do you try to revive them? Move them around maybe? Maybe this just doesn't like this spot. I've had plants, many plants, that just wanna be in a different spot in the yard. Okay, so this is a Vitex. A lot of people call it a lavender tree. You'll see all these ends right here. They will be purple flowers. And so a lot of people call it a lavender tree, but it's a Vitex. And this will grow, 15 to 20 feet tall. We've had them in our house before last. Loved it. The kids would climb up in the tree and play in there. This is a canyon daisy. And I have never had one of these, or maybe I did and it died, so I'm gonna see how this one does. But it should get yellow flowers all over it. I just don't think it's the time for it right now. And then I have a blue daze down here. Remember, in my front yard I had a lot of blue daze. This one has just been planted, newly planted, so it's still growing. And then a bunch of vinca and periwinkles. So this was just kind of, let's fill in this area with some flowers and see how it goes. And so those are there. And I have the little bird bath there. So I'm trying, remember the birdhouse I showed you on my table back there? I'm trying to decide where to put it. I was thinking back here. I don't know, maybe just somewhere in the middle of the grass. But I really wanna, I've got to talk to you a little bit about what I wanna do with this yard. So I kind of wanna extend this bed down this row a little bit more to get some more plants in here. Of course, sometimes my kids complain because they really love that we have so much grass. You know, boys who wanna run around, kick a soccer ball around, like having all this grass, but I really want more plants, and so I want more beds. So we'll see who wins out. And also from this angle, you can really see kind of the path. You see the path that my dogs take, and so it cuts into the grass. And I'm thinking about putting a paver walkway through here that goes to our garden. So we'll see if that happens or not. We just fertilized our grass for fall, so we'll see if it greens up a little bit more. It's pretty green, but we have a few spots that could use some more fertilizer. So that's my backyard. I hope that everybody likes seeing everything that I have, and come back. I'll keep doing different videos as I get new plants or maybe put in new beds, and you'll see my yard evolve throughout hopefully the years that I'm here at this house. Thanks everyone for watching.